Hi, on imagination. So there was a time period where I started teaching instead of doing my journal. And I did that to hide. I didn't realize I was doing it. I became aware of what I was becoming. And the whole time, the universe kept screaming at me, tell your story, tell your story. And I didn't know what she meant for a really long time. And so I kept trying to tell my story, and it didn't. It was annoying. I tried writing it. I wrote a book. I wrote a mother. And no matter how much I wrote, she just kept saying, tell your story. You see, she manifests too. And tell your story. So I think I was telling my story, and I got as far as backpacking in New York, and that's all she wrote, because then I went on this whole massive love fest thing with New York. Sorry. And then I forgot what I was trying to say. That's going to happen a lot. So I had this feeling inside of me every time I was in the city. It was like I was home. And every time I left, I felt like I was having this thing just ripped out of me. And I'm dimension walking again. So I know I'm telling 4 stories. It's because you keep jumping perspectives with me. And this is the part where I was telling you, oh yeah. So as I was saying, I dimension walk. And socializing is not possible for me because I dimension walk so much and so fast. So I can't socialize. This is what he's the love of my life. And when we were together, he didn't know what to do with it. And it was getting worse. I was backpacking through Manhattan when I realized I'm supposed to be looking for something. So I looked. And I got to a point where I could figure it out, like I was getting closer and closer and closer, and I just kept going through everything. Until I found him. And it was the first time in my life I had a feeling of just put the bags down, you're home. Followed by oh, there you are. And all of that in the first minute we met. He's the only one who could best me in logic, and he's the only one who could get my attention. No one gets my attention. Oh, but he did. He stopped me dead in my tracks, and he flew me on my ass. He was the only man who did not buy into my bullshit. He could look at me and see truth. And I went, you're like me. He was exactly like me. And I went, no one's like me. And he loved me so much that whatever love he loved me with cured me. And that's when I realized it was pure love, because it cured me. And I know how to move physics. So it's not really moving physics. You're moving things with physics. It's like physics is the muscles in the body. And once you realize, oh, that's a muscle. Oh, that's a bone. Oh, that's a ligament. The whole thing makes sense. And that's physics. You've got ligaments. It's biology. Oh my God, is it? So you have ligaments, you got muscles, you got bone. And once you realize, oh, that's what those are. This is how they move. You can see how the whole thing is just kind of doing this. And now I'm looking at all of you going, oh, that's how you're all moving. That's how I do it. I think I'm going to do this from now on. I think I'm going to do this. I did not believe in love when I met him. He made me believe in love. I had thrown it away and said no. In 2015, I said, love is not for me. I said it in broken. And I kept saying, love is not for me. It's for everybody else in the world, not for me. And I was fine with that. And that wasn't a lie. I was really fine with that. Because I didn't know what love was. See, this is the little bit of logic that I've got over my partner going, dude, look what I've got. That's how I know you love me. Because I know what it feels like when I'm not loved. And when, wow, who am I talking to now, my dear? All right. You know who you are. Okay. All right, we'll do this. I had hated love. I was so happy to get rid of it. Until I met you. And then I watched you love me in a way they didn't. And I could feel it healing me. I could feel it curing me. And then I could feel it changing me. And then when my healing hurt you, I was already so far gone from being able to articulate even a fraction of what I needed to say that it just came out in rabbled, angry hatred, a mash of illogical code. And that is not at all what I was trying to say. And I ended up hurting you so much that you don't even remember how much you loved me. You said I was too intense. And I loved you so much, I wanted to heal for you. And that's when I felt a second feeling I'd never felt. The first one was the feeling of being loved. And the other one was the feeling of loving. And they didn't match. The feelings didn't match. And I went, I know what it's like to not love. I know what it's like to not be loved. I know what it's like to love you. And look, there's another one here. I wonder what that could mean. Thus, you love me. Oh, you love me. Which explains the amount of healing you did, because you loved me that much. Yeah. I'm always here. Always.